Chaim and Shlomo are busy uplifting and encouraging the Chevra. Thank you so much, Chaim and Shlomo, for constantly doing that. This is just a little small token of the appreciation that I feel, and I'm sure many of our Chevra feels as well, to both of you. So thank you so much. I gave a little homework, and the Olam's in trouble. The Olam's in a lot of trouble because I'm really Shlomo Zalman. I gave a little homework, and there was such an outpouring, the response. I clearly see Ari Nachman, the Chevra loves homework. So B'li Neda, I'm going to try to give more homework. The answers that came back were astounding. Were really astounding. One after another. The answers were astounding. I want to say there were answers during this year and many answers, and I still want to go back. I looked at every single one. I have to reread the comments during this year. I have to look it over. I got text, subsequent text today from Mayor Lassery, brilliant. Dovi Salzberg, tremendous. The Sestak Mishpacha, Mrs. Ratti, sent a brilliant answer. Aaron Smilowitz, Mendy Katz, Shua Weiss, just one good answer, very deep answer after another to last night's question, or last night's homework. I would like to share an answer based on many things that were told to me. The answer I'm saying is based on a lot of things that people wrote. A lot of the 6 I just mentioned, I still have to go back to the actual video and read the comments again because there were extremely intelligent comments that were made. But I want to share with the Olam. We're going to review a little bit, quickly review 2 Mishnayos, and share an answer based on what people said. The Mishnayos, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, so he praises all of his Talmidim. He praises his 5 Talmidim. He starts Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes, and he ends with Rabbi Lazar. Please remember Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Lazar. He starts with Rabbi Eliezer. That's the one he started, and he ends with Rabbi Lazar ben Aruch. Now, I'm just going to focus on those 2, and you'll hear why. I'm going to focus on those 2. Rabbi Eliezer, he says, doesn't forget any Torah. He's a bar sud she'enoi ma'abed tipa. He forgets nothing. Rabbi Eliezer, that's Rabbi Eliezer, doesn't forget anything. Rabbi Lazar is a mayan amiskaber. He doesn't just know Torah, he has chidushay Torah. He's flowing with an endless knowledge of Torah. Massive chidushim, new ideas, just pouring forth from Rabbi Lazar's mind. Rabbi Lazar ben Aruch, a mayan amiskaber. The Torah he has pouring forth with new ideas. Now, many Rishonim say that these madregas build up. It starts, the Gemara says that ligrais, first you have to know Torah, v'lahader v'la'ayin, and then you could be ma'ayin. There's an order. And this Mishnah said 5 praises. It brings up from least to most. It starts with a person who knows his Torah, and it's a ladder, it's a sulam, it's a ladder. First, the person knows Torah, and that's the first person, Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes, who's a bar sud she'enoi ma'abed tipa. Then, with a lot of work on more subtle midos, on all the midos of the in-between Tanaim, you come to the highest madrega of Rabbi Lazar ben Aruch, who's a mayan amiskaber, who takes the Torah he knows, and he produces a vast amount of chidushim and ideas. An endless flow of Torah emerges from Rabbi Lazar ben Aruch, a mayan amiskaber. And many Rishonim learn this way, that this Mishnah is an order of ascension, going higher and higher, and the end is a mayan amiskaber. Anybody who knows the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim, the order of growth starts with Torah. Torah brings to Zehiros, to Zrizos, to Nekiyos, till at the end the person's Ruach HaKodesh is so connected, Ruach HaKodesh, so connected to Hashem, they push it from their mouths, comes forth a mayin amiskaber, a massive amount of understanding of Torah, of Chidushay Torah, comes out of the person. So that is the order of ascension. If we take this a little further, and then we're going to get in a minute, hold steady, Rabbi say we'll get to our cash in a minute. If we get a little further, Chaim, so he told these 5 students, tell me the midah that you're davek ba. And we'll talk about the 2 Tanaim. Rebbe Eliezer, who was the original step of knowing Torah, says ayin tov, see good in people. In ayin tov, see good in people. That's the step, and he was the first step of knowing Torah. Rebbe Elazar ben Arach, who's the highest level, he says to be a leiv tov. Now check this out, Rabbi say. We're going to learn from Averis, me oivai sichakmeni, which besides meaning you've made me smarter than my enemy, it means I can become smart from my enemy. So watch this. We have Shnei Sarsurei Dechet. There are 2 angels of sin. There are 2 forces that cause a person to do Averis. Ayin Raya, the eye sees, Va'alev Chaymed, and the heart desires. Based on what we see is how we feel. If we look at bad things, the ayin's raya, so then the leiv is chaymed. That's how it works in chet. If we translate that with taiv, if we take those 2 shluchim of sin and turn them into shluchim of Hashem, the eye is raya taiv. If the ayin sees good in ayin taiv, what it comes to is a leiv taiv. If we can say that ayin taiv is the first step, see good, and then you'll have a leiv taiv. And ayin taiv means that I seek to see good in everybody around me. It's the start of a process, ayin taiv. The culmination of ayin taiv, much like Lara, the ayin's raya, the eye sees, the leiv chaymed, the leiv desires. Here the ayin perceives good, and then the leiv feels good. How do we come to loving another yid? Savlanus, which the Rabbeinu Yoina tells us is leiv taiv. Ayin taiv. See good in everybody. See a maila. Look to see good. Notice the good. Ayin taiv would be the start of the process until we culminate with a leiv taiv. The leiv follows the einayim. If you look for good and write down good, you know what's going to happen? You're going to feel good about them. If you're always noticing milus in the next person, the next step, what the ayin sees impacts the leiv. So ayin taiv would be the start of the process. Leiv taiv is the end of the process. And it makes sense. Again, Rebbe Eliezer is the beginning of the process. He is the one who knows Torah. He's a bar sud she'eino mabetipa. He starts it. He knows Torah. It culminates in Rebbe Elazar ben Arach. Rebbe Elazar ben Arach is somebody who pashat, not just he knows Torah, he takes it further. He's mechadesh, chedushay Torah, much further. He maven davar mitoich davar. He takes all the Torah he knows, and he comes out with neiredik chedushim non-stop, a mayin amiskaber. And Rabbi Eliezer, who was the start of the process, says ayin taiv, to see good. Rabbi Elazar, who was the end of the process, mayin amiskaber, is a leiv taiv. So this is how it works. And all of us know that midas taivus connects to limud HaTorah. Midbar matana, in order to have Torah, we've been speaking about it for days in the morning. Midas taivus allow us to see taiv in Torah. Rebbe Eliezer is the beginning of the process, and Rebbe Elazar is a later point in the process. So that is, many speak this out. Many speak this out. That's what's going on here. Now watch this. Comes Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and he had 2 shiurim. He says this funny shir. He says if all the chachamim were on one side and Rabbi Eliezer on the other side, he outweighs them all. He's the beginning of the process. He outweighs them all the Chachamim. Then Abba Shaul said a different time, Rabbi said, that Rabbi Eliezer, the end of the process, outweighs everybody. And Rabbeinu Yoina asked the stira, who outweighs who? Rabbeinu Yoina had a stira. We asked, why in Shuir is he rating? He's the best. He's the best. Why is he rating? What's he giving ratings? Number one, number two. What's the deal with the ratings? Momo Ringwide, the following question. I am mamish. This is not from me. I didn't know Pshat. I'm sharing from you the 6 names I mentioned primarily. That's where I'm sharing from. I didn't have a chance to study the answers that were written on this chat, but I'm sharing from you to you. This is a gift from the Chevra to the Chevra, the second gift of the night. And I'm speaking about it because it's going to speak about Chaim and Shlomo. Listen to this. Rabbi said, we asked, what's Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai rating and a stira? Who's bigger? So I want to ask you a question, Chevra. Are people smarter today than they were 300 years ago? Look out your window. There are cars driving. What technology? Look in your room, the lights. We seem to be so much smarter than earlier generations, but we all know that the knowledge we have today is built up. One person, then another person, then another. I have often said on the 12th grade, it's the best 12th grade we ever had. So a bacher asked me, Rabbi, would you say that to earlier 12th grades? Don't tell anybody. Don't say, turn off the computer, turn off the tape recorder. You're saying this is the best 12th grade. What's Jan going to feel like? What's Chesky Silverman going to feel like? What's Chaimel going to feel like? What's Yaakov Kalish going to feel like? This is the best 12th grade. I always explain that when we say, as follows, Rabbi say, Chazal say Yaakov Avinu was the Bechir HaAvos, was the choicest of the Avos. So why don't we say Mogen Yaakov? Why do we say Mogen Avram, the shield of Avram? Yaakov Avinu was the biggest. It's the Chazal say Bechir HaAvos, but of course, Yaakov built on Avram. Avram brought that Mila. And on Avram, Yitzchak expanded, and then Yaakov. And of course, Yaakov was built on Avram. Avram Avinu was the maschil, was the starter. And of course, each one built on the Madregas. Anybody who feels that was smarter today than earlier Dairis is missing the boat. We are built on earlier generations. Their successes, each one built, and each one built Avada Dairis Rishonim. Avada Dairis Rishonim, they were closer to Maimed Har Sinai, Dairis Neflam. Each person builds and adds in a kudah. Each person builds on the earlier one. As such, Rabbi say, as such, whenever we say a 12th grade is the best class, it's not an insult to previous 12th grade. I would be insulted if a later 12th grade wasn't stronger. It's built on who started a culture of Asmadas HaTorah. I ask everybody an honest question. I don't know the answer. I asked you to find out. Rav Aaron Kotler came to America, and many of the Rosh Yeshivas started learning by Rav Aaron. Did they learn as much as the Yeshiva Bachrim of today? I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm not convinced they learned the same Asmada. Rav Aaron did. I'm not talking about Rav Aaron. I'm talking about the B'nai Torah in America who started Limud Torah. Certainly, many of us have grandparents. My Zayda didn't have the chance. By the Great Depression, he had to leave yeshiva. Did he have the chance to study Torah that his great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren have to study Torah? So what would I say? The great-grandchildren are bigger. Narishkeit. Everything was built on his emunah, his erlichkeit, his sincerity. Started something that would be no structure without his haskalah. His haskalah is irreplaceable. What I want to say, Rabbi say, is that it's a tremendous mistake to look at something and say the biggest, the smallest. Each part is necessary in the structure. Of course, there's the Rosh Hashiva. Of course, there's the Reish. It's Of course, there's the yid who all mevatel our das to. Of course, there's such a thing. There's gedolei Torah. Of course, there's a structure, but the need for each person in that structure, that each person's irreplaceable in the binyan, in the construction of, is extremely important. And I think here, Rabbi say, that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who each Talmud built on the Milo, there was a Talmud who represented a Bar Sod Sheina Ma'abed Tepa Yedias HaTorah in Ayin Tov. He was the one who brought to the whole Chevra the mid of Ayin Tov. That was his Nekuda. And another Chaver built on his Ayin Tov and was able to expand. And another Chaver, imbuing and embodying those Milos, was able, because of those Milos, to build a little more. So there's a stira here. Without him, he's Machriyas Kulam, he outweighs them all. It means his mile is irreplaceable. Without him, when he puts his mile, it's irreplaceable, and it pushes the scale. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai wanted them to know in this sulam, in this ladder of growth, that different people are mitzuyin in different parts, and different people contribute different parts, but each one contributing their nikud is not replaceable. Machriyas kulam. If somehow the scale outweighs them all, and he picked from the start of the process, his scale outweighs all of them. To the end of the process, his scale outweighs all of them. He was teaching the Talmidim that each step, each rung in the ladder is not replaceable. I'm not clear of the exact Machriya and Kulam. I'm not saying a teretz because I don't know the teretz, but I'm sharing what people wrote to me and what's absolutely true is that each part of this ladder, each part of this steiging is necessary, and each person who brings their piece of the ruchniistic ladder, and every yid is an ice in Torah. If a letter in Torah is missing, the entire Torah is puzzled. Each yid is an ice in Torah. Each yid is irreplaceable. We're not making a world of equality. We're mechabed the kohen. We're mechabed the Godelat, the Gdolim. We're mechabed Rabbeim. We're mechabed Zekanim. We're mechabed our parents. But what we are saying is every part is not replaceable. Every part is necessary. Bring you to the equation. Bring yourself, and that's Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who was Moina the Shvach of each Talmud. In one shir he taught, and at whatever in one shir he felt to say that you should know the start of the process. Rebbe Lazar, who's the ayin tov, the looking good at others, who's the knowing the Torah, that start of the process. He's machriyas kulam, it outweighs them all. He can't be done without him. All their milos, but he pushes the scale. We need him. And then he said about the end of the ladder, the highest madrega, he's machriyas kulam. Every step is necessary. Every person bringing and representing and encouraging that step. Each one with their talents, each one with their tunas, each person with what they bring is essential. That's what Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai wanted to teach, and that's why he picked the two, the beginning and the highest madrega. So I'm sharing, Rabbi say, I was very moved by the responses. This was this one everybody should have jumped on. You're right. Somebody jumped on to share their impressed with it. They're right. This Rabbi say came from the Chevra, and certainly is an emes. Certainly is an emes. This idea. I'm not done with this Mishnah. I'm not done thinking about the Mishnah, but this already is in Rishonim, that it's a ladder up, and we have a stira on Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai valuing the first madreg as the highest, Machriyas Kulam, valuing the end. Many made this point, that he's saying, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai says to us that every part of the Sulam, and each person that's a representative of an ice, of an Inyan in Torah, of an Inyan in Shlemus. And he told them, each of you bring out, we spoke last night, Sura'u, go out, see where you bring out. And he described the highest point of the ladder. He said, Raya Anias, the Rebbe Lazar, it's important to know what the highest part of the ladder. And he said, Bichlal Devar of Devrechem, to get to him, you need all of your things. He didn't just say he outdid you. In the Mishnah, he said, included in his words is all of your words. Your process is necessary to get to him. And by the way, he was able to get to him because of all the others. He was able to get because of the chizuk and the encouragement. There's an amazing Rabbeinu Yoina. We've studied Rabbi Sai before. Rabbeinu Yoina is a Rishon, and he says it, it's emes. Rabbeinu Yoina writes that if somebody's part of a group, Vigi, and he says, Rabbeinu Yoina, this is not a cute, Rabbeinu Yoina, emes, a Rishon, says such a word. He says that if somebody's part of a group, and he says it on this Mishnah, by the way, of Chaver Tov, and it's appropriate, kifi what the Olam taught me. He says if you're part of a group, even though you don't do kimaseyim, you don't even do what the rest of the group does, but you're part of a group, you get the schar. You know the schar kenegdon. Rabbeinu Yoina writes it. He knows in the world of schar, what is this magic as a guy's part of a chabura and one bacher finishes shas. So in Shemayim they say Mazel Tov, you have shas. What do I shaykhs? It's a magic. Why do I have shaykhs? I didn't finish shas. We're in a chabur with Yoel Kramer. Here's Asmad. What chaylik do we have? He's when you to come, Me'av Esrim, they're going to give us schar like we wouldn't believe. Noyredik is schar. What's pshat? He did it. I didn't do it. Yankiv and Aiki finished Talmud today. So Mazel Tov Chevra, you all have Talmud on your cheshbon. We're part of a chabura with Aikala, with Yankiv Kalish. So we all have Talmud on our cheshbon. What ma pshat? Yaakov and Menachem are learning Yom V'Layla. So all of us have schar of limud Yom V'Layla. Ma pshat? The answer in a group, each person brings an akudah. In a group, when people, one guy is the sweetie who smiles, one guy encourages, one guy sings, one guy does this. You always need, in every group, you need a guy who tells good jokes and a guy who laughs at the jokes. You should know, I'm not a funny guy, but my wife says you find jokes so funny. I do. You need the comedian and you need Dan Kalish in a chabura. A guy could be very funny, but if you have nobody to laugh, how geshmak is it? The comedian alone in his house is not geshmak. He needs a couple of guys who laugh also. That's pashut. You need a good joke teller and a good laugher. In the chabura, each prat is necessary. Kalish talks and talks. So you're a big mouth. You talk a lot. If nobody listens, so what's it worth? So you talk. In every chabura, there needs to be so many pratim, so many details, and there's endless nuances in a chabura. You know how many we need every yid in Klal Yisroel, every yid, to be himself, to bring his nuances. In a chabura, it's pashut that way. The success of the yachid in the chabura is brought out by the milus of each one. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai taught that everybody's irreplaceable. From the start of the process, put him on a scale, he'll outweigh them all. Because you can't begin the process without him. There's no start. And the end of the process, he's the highest. Avada, you need the ganze structure. They're all machriyas kulam. They all outweigh them all. Because each step of the sulam is necessary and important. Rabbi say this precious good line, Ashi. I laugh at that one. Thank you, Ashi. People want me to tell a joke. I'm good at laughing. I'll ask Shlomo. Maybe Shlomo will come on later and tell a good one. But I want to say, Rabbi say, in a chabura, every person is so significant and matters so much. Each yid counts. Each yid is not replaceable. His milus, his sincerity, and we all have nekudas of shleimus that are necessary. Perhaps this is the Olam's timing. These 6 yid Meir Lassery, I took parts of each one. Meir Lassery, Dovi Salzberg, this is Ratti, Aaron Smarlitz, Mendy Katz, Shuir Weiss. Each one I took parts of these precious, sincere yidden who I'm nishtoimim, and I read each one and gained from each one. And I took bits and pieces. This is what I put together for the chevra. I still want to study these mishnayos, but I'm moved by what we've come out of these Mishnayos with. I want to ask, I'm going to try to find Ami Feld. Oh, I found him. Quick find. I asked, Ami's a beautiful, sincere person who comes daily joining us, giving chizuk. So Ami is here. I asked Ami to share a few minutes of Divrei Torah. I want to say before he goes, just a scheduling thing, that I know Mincha is getting later, Mincha Ma'ariv. We will adjust. We'll figure out a way to adjust. The schedule of Shuir we have now is until Shavuos. After Shavuos, we're going to make adjustments. Avos is going to go another week. Last night was 41, and Avos will go another week, and then we're going to stop Avos, and we're going to move around. We'll see what we'll do, how we'll do the Shuir, and what we'll do, but we will be switching the schedule after Shavuos. I'm aware with Minyan and Be'ez Hashem starting up, and people beginning schedules, that all of our schedules are changing. So we're going to go another week till Shavuos, and then we'll figure things out, reassess everything. I'm going to get Ami Feld on. Ami, how are you?
Baruch Hashem, Rabbi.
Thank you for being here, Ami. I'm muting. The floor is yours, Ami.
So it's a very normal way to start a speech. You start with like a thank you. So that's a good thing to do, but the reason I'm saying thank you is not because it's the normal way to start a speech. I've been bursting on my screen for weeks, for 8 weeks, just so I could say thank you to Rabbi Kalish. A lot of days I come out and I'm like, whoa, like a life changer. So you can say like, Ami, come on, you can't have so many life changers. A life changer once in a while. But I think Pshat is you could. Every day you're growing, you're staggering. And when you're listening to a Rabbi like Rabbi Kalish, every day you're constantly changing your life for the better. So thank you, Rabbi, very much. Okay. And just a quick shout out to Shlomo and Chaim and all the guys that sing. It's Mama's next level. It tops off the whole thing, and I love it. So like this, it's not much of a questions, answers of our Torah. It's just a hargasha. It's been on my mind for a couple of weeks. So since a few weeks ago, I got a phone call from a close friend, and he asked me some very intelligent questions about Olam Haba. And we go into this fascinating conversation. Little did I know, an hour and a half later, after we're fire on each other, back and forth. And I have to say, we both came out, we said to each other, I've never been so on fire. Olam Haba became so real after that hour and a half. All I wanted to do after that, sit and learn. It's all I could do. It became so real, I want to just talk about what happened in that time and start with like this. The beginning of our people, Avram Avinu. What's the first thing? Might have a hava. History is not important, but we have to learn from it. And that's why it's important. Avram Avinu, the first thing we know about him. So I printed out the Rambam in Hilchos Avodah Zarah. He says, Avram Avinu, the first thing we know about our entire nation, what could it be? It started with a question. He was thinking in his mind, V'hayotema. And Avram had a question, the first thing in Klal Yisrael. And he said, how is it possible that the whole world's going and no one's running it? So he had that question, and he spent the next 37 years of his life, till the age of 40, finding out Pshat and finding Hashem. He asked the question, he clarified, and he spent the rest of his life with every fiber of his being going after what he found. Rabbi Kiva, one of the greatest people to ever live, he had a question. At the age of 40, he passed by a rock. Iva Ha'ara. He's not the first person to pass by a rock. It's that rock and see that hole. The water took a long time, probably years, to make that hole. How many people passed by that rock? Only one Rabbi Kiva. What's the difference? Rabbi Kiva asked a question, he clarified, and he ran after it with his whole being, his whole life. The Gemara, last example, Bavli. The whole thing's question and answers. The Seder night, the whole thing's question and answers. Why? Because that's the way I think Hashem wants us to live our lives. We have to ask and we have to clarify, and then we have to run after things. A lot of times people live with questions and they just are put in the back of our mind. An example, small things. I feel like every guy at the age of 15, 20, and hopefully we find out before we're 50, why do small things make such a big difference? Does Hashem really care if I brush my hair on Shabbos? Well, if you have the question, it's beautiful. But ask someone, ask a chaver, ask a Rabbi, find out and make it meaningful. My Rebbe's Rabbi Geisler and his father, they say a story that he was on the plane and he's sitting next to this big professor, a pope, and he says, Rabbi, what do you think about this? And he starts asking on Judaism, yeah, what are you going to say about this? And Ragaz's father's not interested. Finally he says, what, you scared, Rabbi? So Ragaz's father, like a legend, I wrote out what he said. He said that one of us is right, one of us is wrong. If you're willing to discuss this, even after the plan ends, and stay on until one of us agrees to the other, I'm all in. The Pope professor's like, oh no, Rabbi, I'm not doing that. It's a way of life. It's a key to greatness, and I think it's meaningful. When you have a question, go for it, ask it, clarify, and when you find the answers, don't let anything stop you until every fiber of your being is in that. And you can live life with a passion. I'm just going to give 3 examples. I'm going to end. Tefillin. Just 3 things that mean a lot to me. Tefillin. You can go through the whole life, and you could be 7 years old, and your grandkid could say, what's tefillin? And you could say like, oh yeah, it's the mitzvah we've been doing all our lives. Like, does it mean anything? Oh yeah, it's nice. Like, that's what we do. Ask someone, why do I do 7 wraps around? Because it represents you're connected to Hashem. What do we say in L'Shem Yichud? That's what's going on. Shefa, Kedusha, Tahara, long life. All that comes with tefillin. It's a crown on your head connecting to Hashem. It's massively important. And the only reason I found out those stuff is because Baruch Hashem, I asked that question and I really wanted to know. Torah is awesome. A lot of people have a question. Am I shaykh to Torah? Yeah, like our Kalish says, like the pasuk says, Morasha, it's a Morasha for all of Klal Yisrael. On Torah, one point is a lot of people feel, I mean, everyone has this question. I think it comes 15, 18, 22, and some people never figure it out until they're 85. But people say, am I shaykh to mastering Torah? Torah is huge. Me, I'm not an Eli. And I was thinking about it, because it bothered me. And I realized if I would do a half a Amud a day, you don't got to be no Eloi to know a half a Amud. By the time you're 50, you're going to be the master of Shas. A challenge. Every single guy. If you ever think about it, oh, I can't master Shas. Everyone says, I can't master Shas. No, not for me, not the Eloi. A half a Amud. 1/4 of the daf a day. By the time you're 50, your kids are going to be, oh my gosh, Tati, you know all of Shas. It's huge. So, and the last one, this is a personal favorite, is Olam Haba. Olam Haba is one of those things you ask any Jew in the street, say, you believe in Olam Haba? You asked me 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I believe in Olam Haba. What does that mean to you? Ask about Olam Haba. Get clear in Olam Haba. And then build like crazy. The Apter Rav, I'm not going to say the mashal for time, I'm just going to say the nimshal. The Apter Rav says on a medrash, I think on Shir when Ma Yafu Pa'amayich, he says a crazy thing. Each and every guy, you're going to come up to Shemayim and you're going to see mansions. You're going to see things you've never seen before. Just such shefa of goodness. And you're going to say, me, Ami Feld, Hashem, what did I get this for? And based on a medrash, the real stuff, the medrash says, Hashem's going to answer you for you shine your shoe. Remember Erev Shabbos when you were 45? One time you shine your shoes at Erev Shabbos, and that's all this. And a person could be like, for shining my shoe, I could have did so much. I could have shined my shoe at Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, Tefillin, Tzitzis, Mezuzah. There's so much goodness out there. There's so much I can build. I think I just want to end off with a bracha that don't be afraid to ask questions. You have a question about small things. You have a question if Torah is for you. You have a question if I'm really talking to Hashem. Don't just be bothered till you're 74. Am I really talking to Hashem? And then find out. Find out now. However old you are now, ask the question, clarify, and chase. And with that, we can become mamish good to get in Gedolei Torah and all good stuff.
Wow. I heard about this talent. I'm extremely moved to see a Ben Torah so articulate, well-spoken, ideas that are clear. You could see somebody who's not afraid to ask and certainly gets answers. Thank you, Ami. That was gorgeous. Thank you. I have to tell you guys a story. Yoel Rahmani wanted to know, I've been waiting for 2 months to write a text during the Shuir. I was listening to Ami, but I had to there's so many good lines. Yosef Kasper is encouraging everybody. Yisroel Nueman, your lines are off the charts. and just Dovi Frank and always lifting people up. So I wrote a comment in the chat, and Yoel Rahman, he wanted to know, was that you, Kalish? So I want to tell you a great story about, it was the second year of the yeshiva, and I didn't know a bacher knew how to imitate me very, very well. Had I find out a bacher's imitating me, Yoel, I call up one of the guys, and I say, hello, and he's like, who is this? I said, Daniel Kalish. He said a word. My father doesn't let me say the word. It's SHUTOUP. He said, not nice. My father doesn't let me say that. But the guy said, be quiet. So I said, I didn't know what to say, but I realized somebody was imitating me. So that's when I knew somebody was imitating. I still imitate me better than anybody imitates me, y'all. So, but that was a cute story that did happen. There's a funny story with that, Yoel, that the Satmar Rebbe was once crying after a Badchan asked the Satmar Rebbe if he can imitate the Satmar Rebbe. And the Satmar Rebbe said, no problem, you can imitate me. Then the Badchan imitates the Satmar Rebbe in a very funny way of davening. And the Badchan imitates the Satmar Rebbe's way of davening. A Yid who heard it once described to me how the Satmar Rebbe davened, Ari. So after he imitated the Satmar Rebbe davening, the Satmar Rebbe started crying. So the Badchan felt all bad, Momo. He said, Rebbe, I asked you if I can imitate you. He said, no, I don't mind that you're imitating me. I'm scared I'm imitating me. He wanted a freshness and excitement. I shouldn't daven Shemana Esrei today, imitating yesterday's Shemana Esrei. My behavior today shouldn't be imitating yesterday. That was the amazing idea that the Satmar Rebbe expressed. I thank all the guys are giving so much chizuk that I could try my hand at sense of humor, Moshe Gartenhaus. I may start typing some jokes. You guys gave me a lot of chizuk. But I wanted to thank Chaim and Shlomo and say that their respect for each person, their sharing to each person in two ways, they have made our Chabura so whole. Because of what they give to the Chabura, each of them, in their own Chaburas and in our larger Chabura, what they bring, the encouraging of each person, the sharing of their own journeys and own challenges and own victories with others, and their respect that they have for others, and making other people feel that their talents are important as well. You're remarkable people from a remarkable home. And my bracha on behalf of the Rabbim, it's both of you should have bracha and atzlacha and besuras taivas, just to have a life full of good things, a life of happiness, yishuv adas, and continued atzlacha, rising and causing others to rise. I thank Ami for hopping on, and I thank everybody. B'li neder, I plan on giving more homework. What went down, the replies were like, I still want to work on the replies. I shared with you, be'emes, what I took out of these 6 replies, and there were others that I still have to work on. And b'li neder, I plan on working on these other ones as well. I do want to hear, thank you, Tzviki Liv, for being here. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Avram Shloimeh. Thank you, Tzvi Kress, for being here. Yitzi Devor, it means a lot. You're Avi Gross. Thank you. I want to get to Yisroel Nueman. Today has been such a glorious day. We had Ami Feld jumped on, that we was Zeicha this afternoon. Rav Eisenberger came on, was remarkable. Yisroel, you're unmuted.
Shalom, Rabbi. 1 second. I just need to get into.
I loved your lines, Yisroel. Outstanding.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. It's a massive chizuk to hear somebody laughs at my jokes.
They were good, one after another, sharp.
Thank you. Rabbi, I'm like all holed up all day, and then this thing comes. There's an opportunity to talk to live people. I just explode.
Please keep talking, please.
Thank you, Rabbi. Is there any niggin, violin, guitar? What would Rabbi like?
Should we ask? We have a chassan with us. Yitz Shoshan is here. Let's do something for the chassan. He's getting married tomorrow, Rabbi. So Yitz Shoshan's chasna. He should build the bayis nemam b'Yisroel, a beautiful, beautiful home. Yitzi is a remarkable person, a tznuah, a humble person, a talented person. Let me ask Yitzi Yisroel what he wants. I
was going to play by Yitzi's chuppah, but due to the current situation, it's not going to happen. So if I could ask him what he wanted me to play by his chuppah.
Yes, I'm trying to find him. He's here, I believe. Let me find him. If I could ask him to pop on. Did anybody see him? Jan, do you see him on your screen? I do believe he's here. If he raises his hand, I could find him. Oh, Yitz, yeah. Let's see if we could find him. It's Shoshan. I believe he was here. Okay, I can't find him now. I'm looking here. You see it? Yitzi's iPhone. Is this him? Is this Yitz Shoshan? Huh? I see Yitzi's phone. I don't know if that's... Okay, I don't know. Yisroel, do something he would like. Right now,
Okay.
I'm having trouble getting
Sure.
it.
Let's see. I'm just gonna set this up a little better. I'm sorry. 1 second. Something freilich, Rabbi, or something slow?
Freilich, the chasna tomorrow. Very freilich.
I'm asking. Thank you, Rabbi.
That was awesome. I want to hear your voice also.
Sure, whatever who wants.
Something nice. We want to hear you also.
Any niggin in specific?
Are people going to be upset at me if I ask for Hatayv?
No one could be upset with Rabbi if they tried to. I don't think.
Mordechai Fried wants it also, so I'm in good hands.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
I don't know what just happened. I'm not sure. Chaim, I'm unmuting you. Chaim.
Hey, what's up, cuz?
Oh!
Keep going, Yisroel.
Rabbi Yitz is here.
Yeah, I unmuted him during the song. Keep going.
Oh, gewaldig. Same. So Niggin Rabbi Itch always used to sing in the Highly Rabbi Shoshan. Just love it.
Beautiful, Yisroel. Beautiful, Ami. What a night. What a night. We're going to interview the chassan in a second. I want to say, Rabbi Isai, we've learned that in my family, we have two new expressions I want to share with the Chevra. If somebody enters your life and just uplifts you and picks you up, we no longer call it, on Zoom, there's something called to unmute somebody. We call it in my family to unmat somebody. It's now you unmat another. The Guris have relabeled it. We, in our house, like if a guy pops in and just makes your day, you unmatted him, Pashut. You brought him out, and that's what we call it, to unmat somebody. But Matt Levin has popped in. If somebody pops in with great chizuk, we also call to Rabbi Eisenberger it now. Somebody pops in and like makes your day, Rabbi Eisenberger did. So I want to really thank Matt for constantly being here. Let's get to the chassan if he's still here. It could be, is the chassan still here? Chassan, you're unmuted.
Hi, Rabbi.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Let me ask you a shayla. Maybe today you would sing a song for the chevra?
What, today they should sing for me, no, Rabbi?
You're right. You're timing good.
There's some good voices here, Rabbi.
Yisroel just did it for you.
I hear.
Imesh kochech. Let's hear Imesh kochech.
I don't have a guitar or anything with me. So.
We just want your voice.
Okay. Imesh kochech Yerushalayim Tishkach yemini Tidvak l'shoini yoylechi kiloi eskirechi Imesh kochech Yerushalayim Tishkach yemini Tidvak l'shoini yoylechi kiloi eskirechi Hayim Eloyale Yerushalayim Haroi Simchasi Haroi Simchasi Hayim Eloyale Yerushalayim Haroi
Simcha sing. Hallelujah, Sharai Simcha sing.
Wow, 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 wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous. You should just have a shefa of bracha. You should have a home that's full of shalom, full of yishuv adas, simchas achayim. Yamala Hashem kol mishalis libchem l'toiva, mazel tov chassan. It should just be a beautiful, beautiful home, full of kedusha, full of simchas achayim. It's all the precious milas that your parents, your holy parents have, and you have, should be poured into this precious home. It should be a wonderful, wonderful home. Yitz. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Yitzhak. A mazel tov to the whole chabura, and I want to thank each person for joining. I want to remind them that 2:05 tomorrow we'll have the opportunity to hear Rabbi Sonnenschein Shlita. He will be speaking Be'ez Hashem 2:05 tomorrow. Is always a treat to hear him. People are calling big time for the gurus. It's like on the night Rabbi Sai we're thanking. I can't just keep asking, but I want to get them on. Hello, Chaim. Hello, Shlomo.
Hi, Rabbi.
How good was Yitzi's range? Oh my goodness, the chassan.
Best acquisition to the fan.
You guys were the ones who you made up the unmatted line, right?
Yeah, I did.
I just want to know, is it Chaim or Shlomo? Whose joke was that?
Mine.
Excellent, Chaim. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Noach Tzvi, you're unmuted. Say hello to everybody, Noach Tzvi.
Hello, Rabbi. Amazing share tonight.
Thank you. Today,
voice.
you chap on the night, Noach. I like sharing Divrei Torah. You realize the whole night was the Dvar Torah, because I shared what the Chevra collectively said, and that's the night. Is each person contributes and brings. I said no share tonight. I just said back what the Olam said. That's the whole shir. The shir and what we said was all one and the same, Chevra. I just really, really want to thank David Tillam. Yitzi Dvor, you're unmuted. Yitzhak, one night you got to play bongos. You got to play for us, Yitzhak.
I'll get on the cajon one night.
Get on the cajon. Let's go. Thank you, Yitzhak. Thank you, Chaim Schwartz, for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, Rabbi Isai. Thank you.
Yes,
I'm turning on our camera.
The gurus are
Right screen.
Ruben, please sing us a niggun.
The gurus are awesome.
We need the gurus.
Gurus, you guys tell me to sing.
Gurus to sing.
Gurus.
Casper, take it away.
Gurus, sing.
Mr. Casper, take it away. Take it away.
Gurus sing.
Okay, here we go. Gurus, what is this? Finally. It's like this.
Should I get you a muffin tomorrow, or you want this muffin now? I'm not gonna get.
When you go.
No,
it's the barker.
My sweet name. Oh, I'll be there. Okay, this is serious though. Oircha Hashem, Hashem Elokai b'chol levav.
Yo.
Okay, is it good?
Can we get an Alpha Rebbe again one?
Sure.
Alpha Rebbe?
Go save it.
Is it just me? I don't think he also sounds good off key.
Just you. No, it's definitely just you.
Thank you, Yosef.
Sorry.
Nueman boy dinner.
Hey, where are those muffins at, though?
Hey, yo, those muffins, what happened to them? They disappeared way too quick.
You promised me some muffins. I want muffins.
Yo, we should have an official 20 minutes of mayhem on Zoom every day.
No!
Nueman, you saw Nueman, the guy who plays
Don't
my
say.
Come on,
Don't say.
everybody. I'm sure you're all wondering why I gathered. Oh, wait, everyone else is muted. I'm the only guy unmuted? Is that true?
Funny.
Nueman.
That is so funny. Yo,
You
shout
gotta
out
sing when you're
Nueman.
the only guy unmuted.
Only one guy was unmuted. What's his name?
What? Yo, Nueman, how you chilling?
Oh, whoever's the only one unmuted has to sing.
Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn to be the only one on.
Yo, Bernack. Oh, what's he going on?
Yeah, who's this little kid?
He's gone.
The big boy, hey.
Who's the kid screaming? Who's that kid?
Who kids are screaming here?
Yo, Nueman, give us a dance.
A dance? Yo, I
It
got like
is.
3 moves and 3 moves only. I'm saying, like, what do you want me to do, bro? Okay, and you can't even respond, so I guess I'm just gonna do my thing out here. Wait, you can't. Oh, okay, this is so awkward. Okay.
Yo, Nueman, we want to dance.
Yo, we got I don't take no feels like that. You guys want to dance? You better dance first. That's an excellent point. This all goes on YouTube.
Dance off. Let's go. You're throwing me versus the Nueman brothers.
Yeah, you know what I want to see? I want to see Milik break it down. I want to see Milik.
Okay, well, have a dance off. First the Nuemans, then
It is. I'm in a dark room.
Momo Ringos.